Good afternoon. This is Bob Rutledge. I'm a Google partner. I do a lot of marketing for small businesses, and I wanted to pass on to you some information today about Google My Business that is very important to your business. Uh, I'm going to talk about the difference between search views and map views, and maybe even why one's more important than the other. If you need to get in touch with me, you see the phone number up above me. But other than that, I'm going to minimize this picture for now because you don't need to be looking at me that much. And so there I am. Okay, now, so we're in one of my clients' accounts, and I just took this one over just recently. You can see over here that, let me go back. You can see over here to this side that they have far more search views than map views. And that doesn't mean that they've been clicked on thousands of times or any of that. It just means that somewhere on the page for painting, for house painters, or for whatever, they showed up. Uh, this is the console of Google My Business. If you've not been in there before, you can do posts. You can change the information about your company. This is a great place to see where people are coming from and why they're coming to your website. I'm going to go over all these in a minute. This is also a console where you can manage your Google reviews. I think that's probably one of the main reasons people originally come here. Google's going to make a bigger deal about messaging and store your photos by all means. There's an app that you put on your smartphone, take pictures regarding your business, and it'll store right where it says photos there. You'll be able to click on it. You can advertise services. You can even create a free website in the Google hierarchy, whatever you want to call it. Now, let's talk a little bit about, again, Google search views versus maps. The neat thing about this console is you can work on your Google reviews. And the theory is a lot of people would tell you that your Google reviews have a lot to do with your getting placement in the maps section. The maps section is growing more and more important. In fact, I think it's the only thing that's important at all now. This is where you can see your latest customer photographs. You can see that some of these customer photographs get thousands of views, more so than maybe the views the pictures you take of your own business. So that's a subject for another video. In this particular case, one of the guys, the customer that I work for, I also help them out. I mean, let's face it, you're swamped. You're looking for help, not more work, but you want to take advantage of the Google My Business tool, and it's free, but sometimes, well, all the time, it's going to really help you if you hire someone out with some expertise in this and allow them to help you manage it. It's just like hiring someone to answer the phones, hiring someone to book the appointments, hiring someone to design your websites. I think that this has become so important now that you should hire someone to manage your Google My Business account. In this particular case, someone had written a very positive review about this client. And that's another thing. You should answer all of your reviews, good and bad. So in this particular case, I crafted I think, pretty well rounded response to this and posted it on Google for my client. His job's running a painting contracting business. It is not doing the bookkeeping. It is not answering the phones. I help him out in this way. So he's got plenty of reviews to be responded to. You can click here to reply. You can skip over them, but it's all right here in this console. Another thing that I do for my client is help them target their customers that's the most optimum for them. The Atlanta market in this particular case, I mean, this gentleman, this contractor really covers from one side to the other. But I don't believe, in my experience, that it does him any good to sit here and put that all on here because I think it waters down the power of Google My Business for him. But that too is a subject for another day. Of course, when you do your Google My Business page, this is where it all pays off. People look up this contractor's name, your company name, and it shows in the panel on the right-hand side of the search results. And that's just a little closer up view of it. And then scrolling down, you'll see a description of the business that I helped them craft. Posts that every business needs to be posting. I believe the post only lasts for 6 days, maybe 7, and they expire. And so you need to replace these posts, and it doesn't hurt a thing to put up more than one post. And there are more than one kind of posts. And again, I hate to keep repeating myself. This is a very complicated tool that Google has developed for us. And to take advantage of it, this part 2 is a subject for another day. Going back into insights, you can see that in the past month, this company, it shows where, how they're coming up in the search engines, how they're being found on Google Maps and on Google search engine. And this is a customer I just took over. So I've not been able to work what I consider my secret sauce on this, but I will over time. And I'm going to show you where another company where I have done the work on it. One of the things that I've tried to explain to people now for the better part of 5 or 6 years is search engine optimization really doesn't do you a whole lot of good for many reasons. But the number one reason that people are going to find your business and your website is your business name. And you should always rank. You can't help but rank for your business name. One contractor that I think made a big mistake. That's why it's important to spend some time naming your business to make it unique. One company that I'm thinking of, their first name is Reliable. Well, that's great and dandy, and maybe it does state what they do. Another company's Discount. Anybody can use those terms in their name or when they're searching or advertising. You need to come up with something unique. Maybe putting together Painting Plus makes it a little more unique than just simply calling it, house painting. So, but he comes up for his business name. Then he comes up so this would be existing customers or people who have spoken to friends and say, what's a good contractor? And they say Painting Plus. So they look them up by name. But when they search, when the prospective client searches for painters near me or affordable painting or commercial painting, that tells me up front they're new, they don't have a contractor in mind, and they're a new customer looking for someone to give their business to. When you change this particular one, all right, so last time we were looking at this was at 1 month. Okay. Oh, this is same thing, 1 month. I've just got the same slide up there twice. No order had me kicked off here. Let's go back to. All right, here's the slide again. So here's at the end of a quarter. So again, Painting Plus and Painters Near Me is second. And so that's new. That's near, so this is someone who knows who they're looking for. This is someone who knows who they're looking for, but this is potentially new customers. You want this number bigger than that number, in my opinion, when you're doing this. Skip ahead a couple more here. So here's an example of a customer that I've been managing for quite a while, almost a month and a half, 2 months on their Google My Business page. And when you go back to the quarterly view, you'll see that they come up for their brand name, number 1, their brand name, number 2, and then they start getting into search terms where people are finding them for the service they provide, like air conditioning repair, air conditioning service, air conditioning repair near me. If we shorten this up to a different time frame, now you see that the work that I've been doing for them has started really paying off. AC repair is now the number 1 search query. And by the way, to rank number 1 for AC search repair in the Google searches per click is probably going to cost you over $100 per click. So this is a very important keyword to rank for. People are going to always find you by your brand name. They type in Frost Brothers, the website's going to come up, the Google search panel is going to come up. But when they type in AC repair, these people have the potential to be new clientele. Again, here's in the past week, they're coming up for AC and heating, AC repair near me. Frost Brothers, their brand name has dropped completely off the page. To me, that's awesome. I want them finding this company because they're looking for a new service provider. This panel here helps explain how you can be found. Okay, let me explain. So customers find you directly. They type in the name of your company, in this particular case, Frost Brothers, okay? And that's the majority of their searches. This company's been around for a while. Their website has been up for a decade or more. You would expect them to be found for their brand name, for their name in particular. So the company name is what this is, as opposed to branded. Customers who find your listing searching for brands related to your business. So in this particular case, it's a heating and air conditioning contractor. They are a York air conditioning installer primarily, but they install, they can install any brand, I guess. They could install Trane, they can install Carrier. They would probably be more likely, if they were not going to install York, they'd install something like Amana or Goodman. But nonetheless, if you do your postings on Google My Business correctly, you'll start coming up for brand names of products that you sell and promote. And that's another way to get found on the internet. It certainly is cheaper in most cases than doing the service itself. And, as I was saying, AC repair, $125 a click in the Texas area. Again, this is over the quarter, 7,000 total searches, their customer name, the client's name, their products they sell, and then these are people, and I want this blue to expand. I want people to find them as new customers, and so I want that number growing. Now, this is an important, let me go back here. I think I missed, let's do this. This is in my way. Move it down here. Let's see if I can escape this thing. Let's go back to my Google Photos, the album. Oh, wrong one. Okay, I was able to find I had to pause the video there for a moment. I wanted to find this particular screenshot. You'll notice here, and this is a graph of your listings on search and your listings on map. And again, this client I just took over, so I haven't done what I do to help my clients yet, because particularly I want both these numbers to grow, but I would rather be found in Google Maps than to be found on a search engine in general, because as the last slide will show you at the end, it doesn't do any good to be number one anymore. So in this particular case, you can see they've had as many as 120 a day and down in the teens for maps listings. Okay, so now let me see if I can find the slide that, and then this would be for the past quarter. So over 90 days, you can see that, I just took this count over, not been any time for things to start changing on it. But when you go down to this particular client, you'll notice that in their Google Maps listing, 4,000 over a month and 700 additional listings in search. Ultimately, that's what I will have happen to the other client as well. It'll take a little time, but that's to me, that's the new search engine marketing. It's not the content building, the link building, and all that you used to see. Now, here's a great example. Going back for 90 days, for this particular customer, again, you can tell where I started taking over the account. Not only a growth in views per day, and both of these are really seasonal clients. One's a painting contractor, one's a heating and air conditioning contractor. They're going to both do most of their business from spring to fall. And so that's not a factor here. This is right in the dead of summer when I started doing the Google My Business management for this client. And then I, helped explode his, really didn't do much probably to his listings in the search engines. That's probably, if you could pull that out separately, you'd see that it was pretty steady the whole way. But his maps listings exploded. And so now it's not even the end of, it's a little more than halfway through the quarter. His maps listings are now three times what his search listings are. Whereas on the other example a minute ago, it was pretty much flopped the other way around for certain. So here's going back to that particular slide again. What is that? 8-1, 9-1, something like that. Maybe not quite 10. Well, 10-1, yeah. So over time, I want to get it to where those two numbers are flipped and both of them are higher. I mean, that's the purpose of what I do here. And of course, the more times you show up in the maps, the more phone calls you're going to get, the more website visits you're going to get, the more name brand awareness you're going to get. And, just it's all good. I mean, there's not a negative reason to do it. Oh, now this slide is really important because if you haven't been keeping up with it, it doesn't do any good anymore to be number one in the search engines. In particular for heating and air conditioning contractors, and in some cities for painting contractors, they've now got this Google Local Services listing at the top. Google guaranteed these phone numbers are tracking phone numbers. You don't even have to have a website. And this should be a part of your mix. I do that for my clients. I manage it for you. There's really not much to managing it, just picking out the service areas you want to work in, how much money you want to spend in each area. So I can pick out, go down to a very granular level, pick certain zip codes to spend more money in than others, that sort of thing. Then below it are the paid searches. Again, we're talking about showing up in the search engines, and then in this particular case for $125 keyword. The next section down, though, above the search results and below the paid advertising are the map section. This is what we're talking about getting found in. I want my clients found here because these are the ones that are going to get the phone calls. You don't necessarily have to have a bunch of reviews, as that particular one shows here, but it does help, and it does help having the better rating of these two. The next section down, and this is something Google has just thrown in here. It has been my contention now for 5 years. The whole first 2 pages at some point are going to become paid placement. And the way Google's doing it is just one step at a time. It's like the weight that broke the camel was the hair that broke the camel's back, or whatever the saying is. It just took one more, and then it finally pushed it down more. So now they've added in a question and answer section above the search engine results. We're still not even down to the search engine results yet. So now we have a Q&A session here. Then you finally get to the top results. Okay, I typed in AC repair. I live in South Alabama. Now I service the entire country, but I choose to live down near the beach. And you'll notice that the number one guy in my local area is still number 3 in the search engine results. So if he were bragging that you're number 1 now is just it's a bad joke, because you have the paid placements, you have the map section, which is what we're shooting for now with our clients, with my clients. You have the Q&A sessions that have pushed and then here's the first Google results. I mean, that you got to scroll down a long way. I used to say it's below the fold. To me, right in here would be the fold, and so you're down at the bottom of the page. Period. You're not even 2/3 of the way down the page anymore. You're 3/4 of the way down the page, and then if you're number 1, you're at the bottom of the page. So I hope this helps. The contractors that really, if you're spending a lot of money on search engine optimization to get that number 1 rank, to get a lot of traffic to your website, this proves beyond any shadow of doubt now, it's a con game. You're getting ripped off. You're getting ripped off bad. You need to put that time and effort into the Google My Business that will help you show up here. People will still skip over the paid placements and move straight down to the map section, and then click on, especially when this is on a smartphone, this is going to show up. The phone number will show up as a button here. And so this is where you need to be putting your money, not into search engine optimization. I hope this helps. If you need any help with it, my phone number is right over my head there, 251-241-9111. I work from coast to coast, and I work primarily with heating and air contractors, lawyers, accountants, you name the service industry. I've got a client in it, roofing contractors. I can help you not only get listed in the map section, but I can help you get listed in